Hi everyone. So who here recognizes the shape? Ottawa, right? Now who here thinks that they could bike 300 kilometers in 24 hours? Couple hands. So I'm here to tell you that if you are here tonight, and especially if you rode your bike here tonight, you are the sort of person who can ride 300 kilometers in 24 hours. I know this because that's what I did last August. I rode the perimeter of the city of Ottawa. So I did it not thinking that I could actually finish. So I started and I thought that I was going to fail. But I finished. And I did it much faster than I thought I could. So the next couple of minutes I'm going to talk a bit about that, how I did it, what's next, and I'm going to end with a confession and a question. So how did this start? So Matt said I'm a Ride with GPS ambassador this year. I love maps. I obviously love bikes. I've lived in Ottawa my whole life. I love Ottawa. So combining these three things, I drew a route around the city of Ottawa, following as closely as I could the official perimeter. And when I did this in November 2017, at that time it was just a concept. I liked long bike rides, but at that time, 300 kilometers was like insane to me. I just thought it was like funny. So I shared it on Facebook thinking that someone else might do it. And there was a bit of interest, but ultimately nobody took the bait. So 638 days go by, and I'm at home Wednesday night. I've got Friday booked off work, no plans. So I spontaneously decide my girlfriend's not home, so she's got no idea this is like going on in my mind. I spontaneously decide I'm going to spend that weekend attempting that loop that I had drawn 638 days before. I thought that if I could finish, that it'd take me 48 hours. So I leave from my house in Hintonburg and I start biking from the Prince of Wales Bridge, heading west towards Arnprior. And what was really cool, seeing these welcome to Ottawa signs all over the place. If you follow the perimeter of Ottawa, you're going to see pretty much every single one of these signs. And of course, population 1 million, new thing. But what was really nice is how these signs celebrated that Ottawa is a bicycle-friendly community. And of course, that's true in areas like where we're at here. There's a bike path that leads right to the Mill Street pub. But in the rural areas where these signs are installed, there's some room for improvement. So a lot of the pavement, in fact, was so rough, especially like around the white line on the edge where you might be cycling, that biking on the gravel shoulder was much easier. So this is all kind of going through my mind as I'm biking this route. But in many ways, most of the drivers, except for this one guy near Dunrobin who like haunted me and glared at me and stuff, but most of the drivers are actually like really nice and left me a lot of space. So this sign is kind of an encouraging thing for drivers to share the road with cyclists. So 115 kilometers in. By that point, I've stolen water from a gun shop near Arnprior. I've been soaked twice by thunder showers, and I get to the Ashton pub trembling. I'm cold, I'm hungry, I'm probably like salt depleted, all kinds of things, and I'm seriously thinking I'm gonna have to quit. I'm gonna have to get on the Trans-Canada Trail and just bike back to the city because I can't finish this. But I have a warm meal, and after that warm meal, I feel so refreshed and energized that I'm thinking, screw 48 hours, I can do it much faster than that. So I keep on biking, and I finish, I continue until about 1 a.m., and I only stopped because my bike lights were actually dying. So I found a park near the Rideau River. I took a rest for a couple hours, and rest was short. I was up before the sun rose, and I kept biking east, and this is really when the route started getting interesting. It started actually revealing secrets about the perimeter of the city of Ottawa. Secrets that you wouldn't see on Google Maps, and secrets that you can't actually experience on a car. So look at that shape again. A lot of really straight lines and right angles, right? But that's not really the whole story. It doesn't tell you that at this point, Belmead Road and Boundary Road This is Belmead Road. It's like single lane tractor path that deteriorates into an ATV trail. You don't want to take a car down there, but you can take a bike. And these two spots, it doesn't tell me that I'm going to have to jump fences if I want to follow the boundary, like this one. So again, you can't take a bike, or you can't take a car, but you can take a bicycle. So finally, 24 and a half hours later, I finished biking the perimeter 304 kilometers around the city of Ottawa. So, why do I do this? This phrase inspired me a lot last year. Anyone can do this. I've learned that you don't have to climb Everest, you don't have to buy all the latest expensive gear to have an adventure. Sometimes all it takes is taking a step out your front door. You don't even need to bike 300 kilometers. So there's always going to be cyclists and athletes who are better than me. But I've learned that I can approach cycling adventures in ways that elite athletes won't. And that's what I find most interesting, and I think that everybody in this room can do the same. So, what's next? Some of what's next has already happened. This group of 11 runners saw my route last year, and last November they ran a relay version of my route. And they're actually going to repeat it again. So any runners in the room, if you want to build a relay team, I think you can get in touch with them. So, I mentioned at the start, I had a confession to make, and that's true. So this is the route that I rode, and it wasn't intentional, but I cut a few corners. So the fact of the matter is that to come clean on this whole thing, I'm going to have to do the route again. So 304 kilometers turns into 360 kilometers. So that's my plan for this summer. So my question for you is, can you loop this city? And if you can, come talk to me later, because I think it would be fun to do this as a group. And if biking 300 kilometers isn't your cup of tea, then think about a challenge that you can have that you can do from your front door. It could be 3 kilometers, it could be 300 kilometers, but think about a creative way to have a cycling challenge that no one's ever done before. Thanks for listening.